very unique thing. It's been a hard thing. I mean, it's hard to lose your mom, and 3 days after that, lose your dad. And, you know, have to spend the next 2.5 years trying to untangle whatever he tells you.
A grieving family now has answers as to who was behind their mother's death. The children of former Aurora dentist James Craig gave powerful statements in front of their father, trying to wrap their head around his guilty verdict and sentence. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
I'm Sam Shocker. It's been nearly 24 hours since a judge sentenced Craig to life in prison for the murder of his wife, Angela. Still, there are questions surrounding the investigation itself. 9 News Investigates' Kevin Bond spoke to the lead detectives in the case in an exclusive interview. Kevin.
Sam and Kim, it fell to 2 women to investigate the murder of Angela Craig, someone that each of them could identify with. This afternoon, they talked to us about that experience. It was a case.
Who could dream this up? I mean, who could even think this, like every twist and turn that it took?
A case unlike anything detectives Bobby Olson and Molly Harris had ever experienced. A dentist burning up the keyboard at his office, searching for poisons that could not be detected, ordering an antibiotic for his wife, then dosing the capsules with cyanide.
To have like such intensity, you know, with searches and even prescribing medication to assist with this, it's just a different dynamic than what we typically encounter when we're working our homicide cases.
Angela Craig was a mother of 6, and it fell to these 2 women to lead the investigation into her murder. Along the way, they found themselves lifted up by the power and resiliency they saw in the couple's children.
That whole family's strength is amazing.
Him soliciting his daughter to, you know, buy a laptop, bail a guy out, get a deep fake video of her mother pretending to be suicide to help him, that's a new level.
They credit Angela Craig for her daughter's reaction, turning her dad in instead of helping him try to deceive the detectives. A woman they hope never knew why she was dying, and who did it, as James Craig injected a final dose of cyanide into her intravenous line.
I hope she did not.
She was a fighter, and I think if she would have known or had the capacity to do something about it, yell, scream, whatever it may have been, she would have.
This investigation was more complex than it might have seemed on the surface. Let me give you some numbers. It involved 10,000 pages of documents, 2 terabytes of data, and more than 1,000 hours of surveillance video. Reporting live in Aurora, Kevin Bond, 9 News.
These investigations are so meticulous and every single detail matters, Kevin. But to be honest, there are things in this that you wouldn't make it up like in a soap opera where you see somebody go in and do something in a hospital room. It's next level disturbing.
It's abhorrent.
It is, and remember, James Craig was convicted of trying to have Detective Bobby Olson murdered from his jail cell. We're going to hear her reaction to that on 9 News at 5.
So true. Yeah. The price they paid for getting involved, but thank goodness they did. All right, Kevin, we look forward to that. Thank you.
Well, switching gears here, it was another gloomy and stormy day. Look at that right now. Looks like a storm is a brewing. So let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin, who's been tracking the forecast. Hey, Kathy.
Hi there, you guys. We have a chance for rain and thunder here in the city, but the severe weather threat is actually north of Denver, up into Fort Collins and Greeley. We've also been tracking some heavy showers in the mountains and on the I-70 corridor, but even with that heavy rain, not a big impact yet. Temperatures have been trending below average the last 3 days, 70s and 80s in July. We love it. It's about to change in a big way by the weekend. Dew point numbers still unusually high, so a lot of water in the atmosphere for thunderstorms to go late into the night. The focus is north of Denver, and that's where the severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 9. But we do have scattered showers coming into Denver off the foothills. Some of those will be capable of producing damaging wind gusts and also some pea to marble-sized hail. We have a push of moisture coming into the southern foothills feels, but storm movement is a bit quicker today, so the flash flood threat is just a smidge lower. Severe thunderstorm watch for Greeley up to Cheyenne through 9 o'clock tonight. This is the area, level 2 out of 5, where we could see storms with hail and damaging wind in addition to the flood threat. We do expect these storms to move quickly over Denver between now and 6 o'clock, pushing further east by 8 o'clock, but a second line of storms may move into Larimer and Weld counties by about 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. So very active north of the city. Enjoy the temperature trend in Denver over the next few hours. Coming up, we'll check the radar again and look ahead to a warmer, drier weekend in just a bit.
And new at 4, an ICE spokesperson says agents are looking for 2 fugitives who they say tried to ram their car into ICE officers in Black Forest. That's northeast of Colorado Springs. According to ICE, the 2 people who tried to hit the officers during a targeted enforcement operation were in the country without proper documentation. This is a live view from our Sky 9 in the area. You can see the enormous response by authorities in that area trying to find them. ICE says the 2 managed to get away and later abandoned the car they were in. There were no injuries reported. The investigation is ongoing.
Now an update to a case we've been following for almost a year now. One of the suspects charged in connection with a shooting that wounded former Denver Bronco Josh Reynolds and 2 others has pleaded guilty. On October 18th in 2024, Reynolds and 2 companions were followed from a Glendale strip club by 3 different vehicles and shot at along I-25. Reynolds and the 2 others were injured. Burr Charlesworth is one of 9 charged. He pleaded guilty today to a single count of conspiracy to commit first-degree assault. He faces 8 to 12 years in prison. His sentencing is scheduled for September.
New numbers from Colorado's 988 mental health line are revealing a surprising trend. A year-long analysis shows most of the calls they're getting are from men. 9 News reporter Jaleesa Rosari spoke to mental health experts to figure out why.
The number may be easy, but Gordon Coombs knows for many men,
Exactly.
dialing it is difficult.
I've known about the stigma for men to reach out for help. The fact that the majority of our callers are men tells us a lot. The right demographics and making it accessible and easy.
Coombs is the director of Colorado's 988 mental health support line.
Pet grief, you said?
He says a recent one-year analysis showed a 15% increase in total call volume, which amounts to more than 93,000 calls. It also showed 54% of those callers were men.
As a male, I was happy to see it.
No, it doesn't really shock me at all.
Caitlin Oplin is a licensed clinical social worker. She says 50% of her clients are men, and she thinks she knows why.
I think that there has been such a great opportunity for men to have access to different parts of the healthcare system, and I think that there's just been a really good job at the mental health campaign with men and for men to reduce that stigma around therapy in men.
This is working in Colorado. That's what's really encouraging.
Coombs says there's much more work to do, especially for specific demographics. That one-year study showed among Latino callers, 80% were men, a number
Wow.
that does surprise Oplin.
It's kind of nice to hear that there's so many Spanish speakers reaching out.
Which traditionally hasn't reached out for help.
Please know you can call back anytime. Thank you for sharing.
Help is all Coombs and his team hopes to provide, not for numbers or stats, but for people.
It doesn't matter what demographic you align with. We are here for everyone.
Those with 988 say they don't have any data from previous years to really see the difference in demographics from year to year. They do say a majority of their callers are between 26 and 39 years old. According to the CDC, in 2022, the second leading cause of death for roughly that age group was suicide. Coombs hopes they can change that. Jaleesa Rosari, 9 News.
Those numbers are scary and sad at the same time, but it's so exciting to hear that men are reaching out. And I think that age bracket is really interesting. Sometimes we think it's only teenagers or early 20s that are struggling. Not true at all.
No, not true at all. You know, the therapist that I had spoken to said a lot of her clients are older men who are finally seeing that they do need mental health support. There's health in that word, right? In that line. Health is so important, and they realize that a lot more men are taking advantage of it.
Yeah, good for them. Everybody reaching out. All right, thank you, Jaleesa.
While people use the state's mental health phone line for help, another type of mental health support is getting a lot of attention. Younger generations have been turning to programs like ChatGPT for immediate mental health support. Coming up tonight on 9 News, we take a look at the emerging field of AI therapy. We'll hear from experts and one local woman who uses AI when her therapist is not available.
The biggest way that it has helped me is to take a step back and breathe and reflect and think through things before I respond to an email or respond to a message, in terms of the personal development and therapeutic aspect.
Fascinating. You can catch our report on 9 News tonight at 9 after the NFL Hall of Fame game.